Hey guys, so the excitement builds. South Africa A playing the British and Irish Lions this Wednesday, and it is going to be an absolute stellar one because if you haven't seen it yet, the SAA team basically looks like the Springboks team that won the World Cup a couple of years ago. 18 Rugby World Cup winners in that squad. It is an extremely strong squad going out, and you would guess probably that would have happened because of all the COVID cases in the camp and them also only playing that one game against Georgia and no other preparation. So it is a big game for the Springboks, having only two games to prepare for the actual test series. This is a big one for them. It's like a friendly just before the test series kicks off, where we can actually see how these two teams measure up against each other. The team is being coached by Rassie Erasmus. He's going to be the coach on the day, not the water boy, because Ninaber also has a COVID case on his part. So unfortunately, he won't be there. When we do get to the starting front row, Dweba, he's going to get his first cap, if this is a capped game, but it's going to be his first game. He's uncapped so far. A big, blistering, barnstorming runner in the front. He's a big lad. He's quite quick as well and has a big step on him as well. So I would like to see what he can do in the green and gold. He's up against Ken Owens, one of the veterans in the British and Irish Lions team, and he's been really shining out for his side. Then for the Springboks, Niakane, he retains his spot from the team that played against Georgia. Steven Kitshoff, he comes in at number 1. When he came on last time around, the scrum did solidify a little bit, but the thing is, where the Springboks really struggled that scrum time was on Niakane's side. When Malherbe came on, things went a lot better. So if the Springboks do have a back foot ball, that would be a lot down to scrum time, and that would be probably down to the tight head side of Niakane. The two props on the side for the British and Irish Lions, Wyn Jones at number 1, Kyle Sinclair at number 3, also two very strong props, and they've had a couple of good games, a couple of good cameos as well off of the bench, so they will have a strong combination, that front row for the British and Irish Lions as well. So I think they might really give a hard game for the front row of the SAA team. Then we get to the second row for the two teams. Maro Itoje, he is playing this week around. Last game against the Sharks, he missed out because of a stomach bug. Henderson, he's at number 5. They are up against probably the best combo South Africa has at the moment in the locks, with a lot of injuries at the locks as well. Eben Etzebeth at number 4, Mostert at number 5. Then at number 6 for the Springboks, they have Marco van Staden coming in. Siya Kolisi, he's also out due to COVID. So he is up against Josh Navidi, who's probably one of their best tacklers at the moment, just really getting so much tacklers. And remember, he was one of the late inclusions to the team because of an injury to one of the other squad members. Marco van Staden, though, he is a hard tackler himself as well. And he is a guy that you have to watch out for at breakdown time. So good there. He's up against Tom Curry in this case, who's also not as bad or not too bad when it comes to breakdown time either. He can really put up a good fight there. World Player of the Year 2019, Pieter-Steph du Toit comes at number 7. He's still kind of fighting back from his injury. You wouldn't say he was injured and would have almost ended his career 2 years ago or 1 year ago. He looks in such good form at the moment, but he's still fighting back from that injury. Then a guy that a lot of English fans you will be very familiar with, Jasper Wiese. He made his debut 2 weeks ago against Georgia. He's at number 8. He's a like-for-like replacement for a guy like Vermeulen, who is injured at the moment. Jasper Wiese versus Falatau, that is a big battle though. That's two very hard runners with the ball, but Wiese is a guy to look out for, especially if they give him that 10-meter run-up and give him that pop pass and let him run into the guys. Falatau, he's the same type of player as well. Conor Murray, the first game he actually starts as the captain for the team. He's up against Faf de Klerk, vice-captain of the SAA team this week around. That's a guy that a lot of the Welsh players, there is a lot of Welsh players in this side as well this week. A lot of the Welsh players will remember why they lost that game in the quarterfinals or in the semi-final of the Rugby World Cup, and that was down to Faf de Klerk with that boot of his, just giving those kicks through, box kicks all around, But this week around, it's probably not going to be so much so because they have Morné Steyn, the veteran, in the side. I think it was his 36th birthday in this week. I'm not sure now about his age. He kicked the series winning kick 12 years ago, and he is back in the team again, and it's a big game for him against Dan Biggar, who is trying to fight his way back into the number 10 contention, or is in contention, but I would say Farrell is probably the better option at the moment. With that one game he played against the Sharks, you saw just the general that he is. Morné Steyn, he's the general for the SAA this week around. Then Damien de Allende, he's back from his burn wound injury. He's up against Bandi Aki. They probably know each other pretty well, facing off in Ireland quite often these days. So I think that's going to be a big battle in itself. Chris Harris, he moves from 12 to 13. Lucanio Am, he's his first game as captain, probably not as the Springboks captain, but as the SAA captain this week around. And he's been listed for a couple of years as one of the guys that's in the leadership roles of the team. He's very good with his defensive organization of the team, so that is one of his strengths. When you get out wide, it is two World Cup winners with Cheslin Colby out wide at number 14. So dangerous when it comes to stepping. Everyone knows what he can do. Probably one of the best wings you can find at the moment. He is up against Josh Adams, in my opinion, probably the best wing at the moment for the British and Irish Lions. His try-scoring record speaks for itself. You can't deny that. Sbu Nkosi, he's a powerful number 11. He's strong, plays a lot like a centre. He can go over you if he wants to. He's up against the quick Reece Zammit. That's also going to be a big battle for the youngster. One thing that I can say about this stadium, though, or about this pitch, it is not very friendly towards steppers. A lot of slips happen there. It is actually a football pitch. It's not my preferred stadium or my preferred pitch. So a lot of these guys will try and step, will slip, and then a lot of times there's a lot of issues that do come from that. You'll see it in this game. Anthony Watson, he moves from 14 to 15. Last week he had a brilliant game against the Sharks. Willie Leroux, he is at number 15. Ever-present playmaker at the back for the Springboks. He is just so reliable at the back, and he is going to make a couple of tries for the SAA team like always. Then on the bench, there's three guys that retain their position for the SAA from the team that played against Georgia a couple of weeks ago. I can just mention that it is an extended bench. They will, just before the game, announce who is going to be the actual preferred bench. But you can see the front row will be Malcolm Marx playing in Japan these days, Kuni Oosthuizen, Sale Sharks, and then Vincent Koch. That's a big game for him. Saracen versus Saracen in Vunipola versus Koch. That's going to be a big scrumming battle. I can't wait to see how that goes. Ferguson, he has a big battle against Oosthuizen. Oosthuizen has to prove himself for me, because I thought initially I would have included Wilco Low. Oosthuizen is there, so he needs to prove what he can do, because Wilco Low, he has been included in the squad now because of all the COVID cases and injuries to the front row of the Springboks. Luke Cowan-Dickey, he's at number 16. Like I said, Mark's at number 16. Big battle. Marks will want to get the upper hand there. Then a guy a lot of South Africans won't know too much about. It's Janse van Rensburg. It's a good lock that plays in France. He's been playing there for years since he's been a youngster. Probably almost eligible for France at the moment, but South Africa has stepped in, has picked him. Let's see what he can do against Adam Beard, also a late inclusion to the team. Tad Byrne, he's been so good at breakdown time at the moment. Elstad, he's at number 20. He kind of plays at the lock, kind of plays at the loose forwards as well. Herschel Yankees at number 21 versus Sam Simmons. So you can see it is a 6-2 split for the British and Irish Lions. We will see if it is a 6-2 split for the SAA as well. Gareth Davies, that's the other number 9. Elliot Daly, he was good against the Sharks in the previous two games. He's again on the bench for that big boot of his. Then we get Damian Willemse and Jesse Creel. Where will Damian Willemse slot in? Last time out, he was brilliant when he came on at the number 12 position, just asking questions of everyone, and he's at the minute the guy that can come in at number 10, 12, and 15. Let's see where he comes in. Kwagga Smith, the loose forward 7 specialist. Elton Yankees at number 25. Guys, like I said, it's Cape Town Stadium. It is a slippery pitch, partly cloudy this week around. 12 degrees Celsius, and then it is going to be 10 kilometers per hour winds. But the thing is, that stadium kind of has a little bit of a tunnel effect where there is a strong gust of wind that comes through every now and then. So kicks do tend to go very straight and then all of a sudden go a completely different direction every now and then. So let's see how this game goes. I think it is going to be a brutal affair, especially if the South Africans do also play a physical game. We saw what the British and Irish Lions did against the Sharks. They kind of struggled in that first half when the Sharks had a physical encounter against them. But second half, they kind of adjusted their game a little bit more for that physical encounter, and they did fix their game there. But this is the strongest team, one of the strongest teams South Africa could probably have put out. It's definitely not their second best team. So I think it's going to be a close one. Being South African, I'm going to go with the South Africans to win it by 7 points. Let me know your prediction down in the comments below. And then also check out these videos next to me. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more Lions content. And then I'll see you for the next one. Cheers.